Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back again for my second video this week. Uh, just wanted to tell you guys that today's video is gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be a rant video. It's gonna be like kind of me expressing how I feel about um a certain political standpoint or whatever you want to call it with police and the public. And I was going to make the video about specifically about the whole Amber Geiger trial or whatever, but I decided that I wanted to make it a more general um, a more general outlook on police and like the favoritism that police receive in today's well, not just today's, but in society, period, because it's been going on since the beginning of police. But yeah, so just to talk a little about it, about the subject. I feel as though uh people have a tendency to let police get away with a lot of things. Like when I say people, I am talking about the public in this particular situation, and not just the public. It's also their stations that they're the cities and stuff that they're assigned to, the government. Like the police get away with a lot of passes, and honestly, that's not fair because to touch on the Amber Geiger situation, to just use it as an example, since that was going to be the topic of my video. She walks, she comes home from doing whatever, from working. Well, no, she was off that day, I believe. So she comes home and she goes into another man's apartment, and she claims she uses her key fob to get in there. So what doesn't make sense already to me is that if you used your key fob to get into his apartment, you use his key fob to get into his apartment, because it's those key fobs are just like when you go to a hotel. Only one key works for that door. That's why you can't go into somebody else's hotel room. So how can her key work for his door? Don't make sense. I feel like there was speculation. I don't know if it actually. I'm unsure if it actually was true or not. But there was speculation in saying that the two of them were dating or going out or whatever. So that could be a way how she got his key fob. But nonetheless, she didn't open his door with her key fob. She opened his door with his key fob. And so to further on into the story, she she goes into the house, and now she pulls her service weapon, and she pulls her service weapon, and she's telling him, giving him instructions to do X, Y, and Z. And from the reports that I've read, or from the things that I've read, he was either sitting on the couch eating ice cream, or he was on the floor in a like a protection kind of stance, kind of like with his arms covering his head kind of situation. So either one of those situations don't call for you to draw your weapon, or it doesn't call for you to fire your weapon. Now, I also read that he was coming towards her. It's That doesn't make sense. It's like this. If I'm in my house, if I'm in my house, just like if you were in your house, and someone come busting through my door and pull a gun out on me, you think I'm just gonna stand there? Like, I feel like it's a fight or flight. That's a fight or flight kind of thing. And he decided to fight, I guess. Like, he don't know who she is. She didn't say she was the police. She didn't, she didn't do any of those things. She didn't announce herself. She said, "What are you doing in my apartment?" Supposedly, that's what she said. So he decided that he was gonna go towards her. Now, I read that he didn't go towards her in like an aggressive manner. He went towards her like, hey, this is my apartment, like, kind of thing, like, relax, like, calm down. So if someone is confused, this is one thing I don't understand about police. If I'm already a confused person because you're yelling at me, because we all know that the police have a tendency to, when they show up to a scene or whatever, it's 5-6 police cars outside, which means there's like 20 officers. So you're meaning to tell me that I'm one person and 20 people have guns drawn at me, yelling at me, and I'm just supposed to comply? You don't think I'd be the slightest bit confused with all of you yelling something different to me? Someone's yelling, get on the ground. Someone's yelling, put your hands behind your head. Someone's yelling this and that. And it's like, who do I listen to? What do I do? And then you're saying that I failure to comply, and I'm resisting arrest. And it's like, no, I'm confused. You're yelling at me. And so that's kind of how I feel with that. It's like she shot him. She shot him multiple times. And you didn't even assess the situation first before you decided to shoot him in his own home and kill him when he wasn't doing nothing wrong. So that's not okay. That's not okay. And then she goes to trial, and she only gets 10 years. She only got 10 years, which we all know, if that's her first offense, which I'm sure it is because she's a police officer or was a police officer, if she gonna get time off for good behavior, which means she'll serve maybe 5 years with good behavior, maybe less than that. So it's like, what type of bull s is that? You took someone's life and you're telling me you're gonna do 5 years? My God, I know people who have drug charges who have done more time than that. I know people who were just associate to the crime. They didn't even do the damn crime, and they got more years than that. So I'm trying to figure out how you take someone's life and you get 10 years with probation, possible probation after 5. Come on now, it don't make sense. That's mad favoritism. That's mad favoritism, and it's not just in those instances either, because what happened just recently with the lady. She was in her house and she was playing with her grandkids or whatever, and somebody, I assume a neighbor, had called in a wellness check for her or on her, and the police decided that something was wrong and went into bum rushed their way into this lady's house and shot and killed her in her own house, and she won't do nothing wrong. And then, to my knowledge, because I haven't really heard a lot else about it, but to my knowledge, those police officers, or the police officer who did that, is not being prosecuted. So now, I could be wrong. I haven't really heard any more information about that. I will do an update to that if I do find out otherwise, but to my knowledge, they are not being prosecuted. So again, another story of police officers taking someone's life and nothing happening to them. That's not okay. And then people wonder why society don't trust police officers, because of stuff like that. You do bad things and you get away with it. And people, another thing that also kills me with society is you have people out here who believe with their whole heart and soul that police officers are these angels and they're good people and this, that, and the third. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that all police officers ain't bad. I know that there is at least one or two good police officers out there, but for the vast majority of police officers, this is my standpoint on that. Police officers, just because they wear a uniform does not make them less human. There is no such thing as a superhero with superpowers who's above all justice. There's no Superman, there's no Batman, there's no none of that. There's no none of that. There is people, human people, who wear a uniform and I'm assuming try their best to do their job. With all that being said, you have the ones out there who are crazy, who are sociopaths and psychopaths and want to hurt and kill and do bad things to people just because they have the power to do so and they know that they can get away with it. And I feel like that's not okay. There has to be a stronger implementation of guidelines, rules, whatever you want to call it, to police the police. Because if you're going out here and you're just making decisions, like police people be like, well, they have body cams on. Police officers turn off their body cams and then all they have left is the dashboard cam, which still ain't shit, because the dashboard cam is like maybe 20 feet away from a car if you get pulled over. So what exactly, you can't hear the verbal communication that's going on between the police officer and the subject. The police officer could have been talking to the person mad raw, and so you think, so okay, you a person just like I'm a person, and you think that I'm going to sit here just because you have on a uniform, that I'm going to sit here and allow you to disrespect me? No. No. No, 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 no. That's not what your job title is. That's not what your job title is. Your job is to protect and to serve. You need to assess the situation, and if you feel like that there's real harm or danger that could be towards you or anybody else in the nearby vicinity, then you do what you need to do within reason. But these police officers don't do that. They get people who they pull over or they come to their house or whatever, and the people get an attitude with them, reasonably so, because you talking to me mad grimy, and then you just and then they just expect you to comply and to listen. I'm like, no, you came to me disrespecting me, so why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to you? What reason do I have to listen to you when you've already disrespected me as a human being? You're a human being, I'm a human being, so what gives you the authority to talk to me like you crazy because you got a uniform on? Oh, I can put a uniform on too, and then I can talk to you crazy. That's kind of what it is. Cause I can put a uniform on, I can buy a gun. Then you gonna try to get me for impersonating an officer? No. I never said I was an officer. All I did was put a uniform on. I didn't say what kind of uniform it was. I could be a waitress with a gun. And guess what? You still not gonna disrespect me at the end of the day. So I got a little off topic because I got really passionate about that. I realized that turned into a rant, and I didn't really mean for it to turn into a rant. But back to what I was saying. I feel like police officers receive a lot of favoritism, and it needs to stop. It needs to be addressed in, I'm not really sure the channels in which you would go about to address police. Like, I'm not sure if you go to like your capital government, or if you have to go to like the police commissioner. I'm not sure exactly the channels on that. That is something that I would have to put a little bit of further research into, just to really get to know the ins and out of that. But yeah, something needs to be done. There is no reason that a police officer, just because they are or were a police officer, should be able to get away with murdering someone. No way. No way. No way. There's no way. And another thing that grinds my gears with that pisses me off, is all a police officer has to say is, I feared for my life. I feared for my life, and so I did what I thought was necessary. Okay. Did you give any concern to the other person's life? Do you think they might have fear for their life? They're human, you're a human. So when humans fear for their life, what do? They try to protect it. They try to protect their life. And that's all, majority of the time, when police officers are out here abusing and killing people. That's all that the citizen is trying to do, is just protect their life. They're trying to go home to their family, just like the police officer trying to go home to their family. So for you to sit here and say that you fear for your life, and 9 times out of 10, with all of the different stories I've heard, and stuff that's come on TV and in the news and in the papers and stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, the citizen didn't have a weapon. Didn't have a weapon. They might have moved funny, or reached for their cell phone, or whatever, what have you. Like they might have made a move in a specific type of way that the police officer didn't like, but that does not justify you losing your life. It doesn't justify you losing your life at all. So I feel like this, and then people say police officers need to be trained better. Agreed. I agree with you. Police officers do need to be trained better. They need to be trained a whole lot better. They need to be trained in assessing situations and putting a lot of critical thought into a situation, because not all situations call for excessive force. I've seen plenty of videos on YouTube and other social media sites where a police officer, a guy, it was one video in particular, and I am gonna wrap this video up. It was one video in particular where a guy, it was in some Asian country, I don't know exactly what country, but it was a guy, and he went into a police station, and he had a knife, and instead of them shooting him to death, guess what the police officer did? He talked to him. He talked to him to see what was wrong and why he was doing what he was doing. And then after the police officer talked to him, the guy calmed down, gave the police officer the knife, and everyone walked away alive. Everyone walked away alive. So if they can do it, if other police officers can do it, so can the police officers here. So can the police officers here. And that would result in a lot less situations where people are dying. And I'm sure the police commissioner and the police station and things like that are tired of getting sued for due negligence on their half, and I know they're tired of doing settlements with people's families because of police officers not being able to control their trigger finger. So with all that being said, it really wasn't, this video really wasn't what I wanted it to be. It really did turn out to be a rant video, because that's just something that I'm really passionate about. I don't like that there's favoritism. I don't like favoritism for people who, just because you hold a certain position in society, does not make you better than anybody else. That also goes for the top person in our society, which would be the president, but I will not get on that. That's a video for another day. But yeah, I don't like it. I don't like favoritism, especially when it comes with the lives of other people not being not given the proper respect that it should have been given because of the situation. If someone takes another person's life, that is a serious offense. I don't care. It's different. Excuse me. It's different if she was literally defending herself. if she was in a situation where she had to fight for her life, or any police officer for that matter, not just her, if they literally are having to fight for their life, but seeing as though 9 times out of 10 the situation is not that at all, the situation is they literally just fear for their life, and they get away with either a slap on the wrist or nothing at all. They either go on temporary suspension or leave without pay or leave with pay, God forbid. And it's like, what the fuck is that? How do you get off with a slap on the wrist? How is this an accusation? It was clear. If your body camera was on, it's clear that you neglected your duties in protecting and serving and being an officer of the law and upholding the law. A lot of these officers go on a power trip and they get upset with the citizen because they don't want to follow directions. Okay, you're an officer. So if you are going to hold yourself to a higher standard, guess what you need to do? Hold yourself to a higher fucking standard and actually be a fucking officer. Like, hold your temper, hold your composure. It's hella unfucking professional for you to get an attitude or start acting like a little bitch baby because a citizen, a regular ass citizen, got an attitude with you. They got an attitude with you, so now you're like, I don't have to tell you why I pulled you over. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. Yes, you do. That is the law, which you're supposed to be upholding and serving. So, again, I was getting back into that and I won't. So, that will be the end of this video. I'm definitely going to make the other video. I'm going to make it and upload it on Saturday so you guys can get that video as well. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I promise you. Not all my videos are going to be rant videos. It's just really hard sometimes when you are passionate about something and you have strong feelings about something to kind of stay on topic. But I feel like I did the best that I could. Definitely, if you think I could have done better with staying on topic, let me know in the comments. And if a lot of people feel as though I could have done better with staying on topic, I will definitely remake the video and post it again. And of course it'll be shorter because I covered pretty much everything. I just want to be more on topic and more concise with what I was actually gonna talk about. And I love you guys, and just continue to check me out, continue to follow me, continue to just watch me and watch my channel grow. And I will check you guys out later. Peace.